Hey guys, this is Carrie from Tone Wars. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're really excited to hang out with you and to have you be part of our community. If you like what you see here, here's a couple ways you can support the channel. We always appreciate super chats very much, but here's a couple other ways you can support the channel and get something in return other than just content. If the super chat feature doesn't work for you, or if you're watching after the live stream, Jarrod's PayPal account link is listed below. Any donation of any amount is greatly appreciated. Since the show is sponsored in part by Motor City Guitar, we've included an affiliate link below. By clicking the link below, everybody wins. You're getting a great deal on some awesome equipment, you're supporting a store that has tons of inventory and great customer service, and you're supporting Tone Wars. And on top of all of that, if you live outside of the state of Michigan, whenever you buy anything from Motor City Guitar, you don't pay any sales tax. And last but certainly not least, you can visit our website at tonewars.com. The link is below. There you will find some awesome KEMPER profile packs with the tone and feel guitar players love. You will also find presets for the very popular HELIX, HX Effects, HX Stomp, and Pod Go. Alright, the show's about to begin. We look forward to hanging out with you, so grab your favorite drink and join us in the live chat.
Welcome to Tone Wars. What's happening, guys? Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Appreciate it very much. I was going to start with a couple mixes, but I will shortly, but I just wanted to say hello and let it fill up a little bit here, and then we'll get started with everything. And I wanted to say hello to everybody real quick as well. And I'll do it just like I did it last time. We'll just kind of roll right through some things so that we can stay on point, and I'll be happy to interact with you guys afterwards with questions, comments, and everything else. So please stay tuned for all the after party, for lack of a better term. Matt Forrest, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you here. Jason Taylor, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Jason. Very much appreciate that. He says, hope all is well, and thanks for all you do. You're welcome, and yes, things are going pretty good, and I hope they are all well with you as well. Too many wells there. But thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that, Jason. And he also says, looks like the EVH Stealth 100 might be one of your new favorites. You know, every time I play it really impresses the hell out of me. And it's definitely up there with my top amps that I've ever played in my life. And it really is a phenomenal amplifier. So, still in the honeymoon phase, but you know how that goes. Sometimes you stay in the honeymoon phase with certain pieces of gear, and I feel like this Stealth is going to be one of those pieces of gear that, you know, I'm always digging. You know, what's up, Joseph Butler? He says, bring on the business. We will. We absolutely will. What's going on, Gunnerman? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. All right, so tonight, what we will do is I'm going to do the Stealth Blue channel. Start off with that against the Revv Purple channel in two mixes. I'll play each mix twice in a row, kind of how I did on Sunday with TJ. And I'll play one with each amp. And then after I'm done playing those mixes, we'll have a quick discussion on what I heard and felt between the two. I'll take your comments as well really quick. And we'll have a quick back and forth. And then after that, I will play each amp in a full mix once. And just play a couple mixes for each one so you can hear how they sound. And then we'll do isolated riffs between both amps with and without the overdrive pedal engaged. And just to show you what the amps sound like raw and with a boost. Tonight I'm using the Mud Killer. I'm really digging that pedal, so I'm going to use that tonight. And maybe we'll use the precision drive on the Revv too and show you how I can add a little bit more aggression to it with that. And then we'll, maybe do a few more mixes and hang out and have a good time. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I do have, I went on Reverb and I got today I've been doing some gear swapping, and I was lucky enough to find a really cool guy who's selling a PRS Archon 100. So I'm doing a trade with him on one of those. And I also have, what do I have coming? I bought this off of Reverb as well from a really cool guy in California. It's the Triumph Mark III. He was in Kettner, so I'll have that here next week. And I believe Steve Shaheen's going to join me for that one. So having a lot of fun doing all the gear flipping and stuff like that. So it's been interesting. So stay tuned for those episodes, and I'll shoot out the Archon 100 against the Archon 50 and see how they stack up against each other. So anyways, get out of here real quick. I'm just trying to update. Okay, we're up to 13. All right, so it'll grow as we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's start with the Revv. I'm going to mute the mic, and I'm going to do, the same riffs same, songs I do. But these are great tire kicking songs to show how the amps sound and stuff in a full mix. And there's a lot of different types of riffs that I play, and it really helps hear what they can do. So without further delay, let's mute the mic and get started. All right. Well, there's some pretty big differences there. Looks like Wormcord just joined us. What's up, Jay? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here, sir. All right. Jason Taylor says those Triumphs are massive beasts. Lots of knobs and gizmos. Yeah, I can't wait to mess with that. That's going to be fun, man. Jason Lewis, what's going on, buddy? He says, I'm going stealth. Revv sounding sterile, in my opinion. Okay, all right, fair enough. Rob Johnson, what up, man? You should get an orange TH30 on the channel. It's like a more modern take on the rocker burb to my ears. You know what? I will look into that, see if Motor City has some. I'll be happy to have that on here. Yeah, one man's... what did Jeremy Morel say to the other day? One man's steak is another man's chicken. As far as tones go, some people just they just gravitate towards certain things, and they have their own taste, So there's no right or wrong here on which one you prefer. What I am experiencing between these two amplifiers, there's a pretty big difference between them. I would say, you remember how when M told, Daniel Craig's James Bond, like he's a blunt instrument? That's kind of what the Revv reminds me of. It's a blunt, just beastly instrument. It's just really just thick. It's got a really blunt, thick attack on the palm mutes and the chugs. It's just very, where the Stealth is more of a precision instrument, whereas there's a little more top end in different frequencies, and I tried to get the top end of the Revv to match the Stealth, but they're just differently voiced amps, and it's just different. They won't do whatever each other's doing. They're just a completely different voicing. So you're going to get a grainier, more top end, a grainier type of top end on the Stealth than you will on the Revv, but I would say that when I'm playing the Revv, I absolutely enjoy the thickness of the attack. When I'm playing, especially the palm mutes and the chugs and stuff. I mean, if you remember, I had the EVH EL34 100 on here, and that had a softer top end, almost a little bit of a classic rock hint to it. That's not what's going on with the Revv. The Revv is just a blunt force, machine. It just pounds, and it's got a really thick chug and palm mute on it, and it's really pleasant I love how it sounds and feels. It's very responsive, but it's just a different kind of texture on top. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. Again, if you want the grainier, more texture type of thing, you'd want to go for the EVH Stealth. If you want that blunt thickness, then you want to go with the Revv. Again, it's not a softer top end. It's just hard to explain. I would just say blunt. Because the top end I've played on some other amps, there's a softness there that I don't really prefer, and the Revv is not doing that. It still has a great attack and some precision, but just a really nice blunt punch to the gut, So that's what I'm experiencing so far between them, and really enjoying the amps. In fact, when I play each one, it takes me a second when I switch back and forth to acclimate to each amp, but once I'm acclimated, I'm like, dude, this is amazing. I really enjoy the stuff that I'm experiencing, big time. So let's go ahead and kick the pedal off. All right, turn off. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth on these amps with the pedal off. So I'm going to start with the EVH blue channel, and I'm going to switch to the Revv purple channel. And see how they compare. They're kind of the rhythm channels of the amps, even though you can use them both for leads as well. Plenty of gain there. But let's just do channel for channel here. All right, 1 second. All right, so definitely the EVH is definitely a little tighter between the two. But the thing is they both take a boost like a champ. They both take a boost very well. And the thing is like I don't care if an amp is a little bit loose without a boost because I boost it anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. With the Revv, I feel like there's a little more low end to move or to sculpt, you know. So what I'll do, let me do this. I got the bass on the Revv at almost 3 o'clock. Let me put it at noon. And let's see if that tightens it up a little bit, just to be fair, because I have the bass on the Revv dialed in so that when the boost is engaged, there's still plenty of low end there. So to be fair, I'll pull that back a little, and let's see how they compare now. Okay, that didn't really help it too much, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back. It's still a little looser, and I have the aggression on red on the Revv. Now again, it's not a bad thing because I boost every single amp I play, so it doesn't matter to me, but I just wanted to show you what they sound like without a boost. So now let's go ahead, kick the Mud Killer on, and let's see how they compare with the Mud Killer on, okay? So we'll start with the Revv this time. All right, yeah, so the EVH is a more textured top end where, like I said before, with the Revv, is more of a bluntness to it, but not soft. It's blunt, but still a punch to the gut. And there's not as much texture on it, but it still is I don't know, it's like a blunt aggression as opposed to a grainy, gritty aggression. And it's a little thicker. Now, don't confuse that with the Revv has more low end. I mean, maybe with these settings it might, but I wouldn't call it low end. I would call it thickness. There's a thickness there that I really like with the Revv. I could just imagine these being, recorded double tracked, like Revv on one side and the Stealth on the other. I think that would be an amazing sound. So I think the Revv's just a bruiser. It's just a really nice, big, fat sounding amp with a lot of really nice blunt attack to it. So yeah, I enjoy them. I think equally. I think the quality is there on both of them as far as the tones go. It just depends on what you're in the mood for. So yeah, we'll get to more mixes in a second here. Let me close out and come back in. It's weird how it updates differently on my end. Okay, got 24 people here. Hyperbowl Kid, what's going on? He says, really like how you dial both in these. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, these are These are dialed in my opinion, to my taste. I think they sound about as good as they can for me, anyways. Thank you. Jim Moore, he says, here's some jingle for the tip jar. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Let me see, read a couple things real quick, and I'll get back to it. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you. Let's see here. Let's see. Marlin Flame. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. It says the Stealth is the winner for me. Tighter and has the smooth aggression. Okay, yeah. I mean, if you want aggression, then the Stealth is for you. If you want something that's a little thicker and it's got that blunt kind of aggression, then you'd want to go with the Revv. And we'll get into the features differences here in a bit. But Revv definitely has so a lot of great stuff going for it. He also says the Revv sounds great as well. Very organic. The Stealth is flying down the highway where the Revv is eating the road for breakfast. Yeah, I would say that's a good analogy. The Revv is kind of like the Humvee here, and the Stealth is more of like the new Corvette or something like that. You know, like a street racer. It's just nasty and quick. Where the Revv, man, it's just like a really nasty Humvee. You know, it'll just go over anything, no problem. So, let's see here. So Jam Morris says, I didn't get a notification. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I had some other people tell me that too. They're not getting notifications. It's weird. Well, hopefully, YouTube will fix that. Joe Staup, again, sorry I'm trying to read everything without my glasses. Revv can pulverize. Yeah, it's a pulverizer. Just a punch right to the gut and the ribs, you know. Crack your ribs, man. It's just nasty. Let's see here. Hyperbole Kid says, I like that idea. Are you able to prepare a stereo setup? Play them at the same time. One of these days, I will, for sure. I'm going to order some stuff. Steve Venchek sent me a link to a piece of gear that'll help me do that. So that would be really cool. If I can get that on here, I'll definitely be doing some stuff with that. What's up, CS? What's happening, man? What cab are you using, and which amps are you shooting at? Oh man, you cracked me up. Joseph Butler, Savage versus Stealth next. Yes, that is coming up. I will do this. In fact, what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to do the Savage versus the Fireball, and then it's going to be Savage Stealth. Yep, I will be doing that soon. Scott Fulmar, what's going on, buddies? Thank you so much for the super chat. Dude, you're freaking awesome, man. I can't wait to meet you and everybody else that's coming to the Guitar Summit. It's going to be awesome. He says, there is a place for both amps. The Revv raises the metal sign while the Stealth gives you the middle finger. Well said, sir. Well said. Yeah, both of these amps are freaking amazing. I would say, so far, I'm putting them kind of neck and neck, just depending on my flavor that I'm craving. And when I play the Revv, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. It just depends on what I'm craving that day. So, all right, let me. What do I want to do here? Let's do Majestic Gent Balls. It's the working title for that song, but it just stuck. So, all right, 1 second. Okay. Wow, man. That is one thick amp. So what I noticed there is when I switched to the red channel, so I got this hooked up through MIDI right now with my HELIX, so it's switching channels when I play leads and rhythms. As you can see with the lights will change. There's lead, there's rhythm. So what I noticed is the notes, especially for the leads, are just, well, for both rhythm and lead, but when I play the leads on this thing, the notes are really thick. They're just thick and juicy. I love how thick they are. So again, if you really like a thicker amp, but it's really well balanced with all the aggression and stuff, the Revv is definitely for you. It really does have a great lead tone on as well. I really enjoy playing it a lot. I really don't have any issues at all with this amp. I think they did a fantastic job on it. So let me go ahead and play. Let me play one of my favorite songs, but it's so hard to play. I always get all bound up when I play this because it's so difficult for me. There it is. Let me play that with the Stealth, and just to give you an idea of what that sounds like. 1 second. I'll be using the red channel on the Stealth for leads as well, and the blue for rhythms. Wow, man, what a freaking joyride. Man, that amp try that again. Man, that amp just has so much texture and punch and ridiculousness to it. It's just a riot to play. You know, it really is just so much fun to play. Both of them are. I enjoy playing them pretty much equally. Again, it's just like the texture on the Stealth is so noticeable, even in a mix. You just got that bite, you know, for all the stuff that I was doing there. I could just feel it. It's probably the most textured amp I've ever played. But again, each time I switch to each amp, I find the things that I love about the amp quickly, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, this is great too, you know. So let me switch back to the Revv, and I'm going to do Out of Nowhere now, and see how it performs there. Come on. Good Lord. Okay, I saw a question. What overdrive I'm using? I'm using the Mud Killer tonight. Yep, sorry I didn't answer that earlier. Mud Killer tonight. I'll switch to the Verizon. I'm going to switch to Verizon tonight after the live stream. I was using AT&T for a while, but Verizon just slams amps so much better. I'm going to switch to the Horizon Devices Precision Drive for the Revv in a minute here and show you the difference with it. It does add a little bit more bite to it, which if you're putting it up next to a Stealth, I mean, it could use all the value they can get if it's in the bite game, you know. So, Dirt Racer X, thanks, buddy. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Jam Moore, this song kicks ass. Yeah, it's thank you. It's a fun one to play. It's great for chugs, you know, for testing chugs, and that's why I figured this was a good one for the Revv, because the Revv's just so thick sounding, and I just thought it would just decimate on this song. What else do I have with the red guitar? What else would I? Oh, let's do Night Terrors with the Stealth. 1 second. Oh my god, that freaking amp just, it's like so menacing for that song. It just sounds amazing in that mix. The that whole part, it's just it's so aggressive and nasty. I just really enjoy playing that amp in that song. I'm trying to pick songs that accentuate the characteristics of these amps so that you can really hear how they do in these songs. And man, I think both of them would sound great in there. It just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, I'm liking these kind of equally, just depending on what style of music I'm playing and what I'm looking for. They both do what I'm looking for the that individual thing, or the individual piece of music, about as good as it can be done, in my opinion. They just do it so well, man. But if you want to knock down walls and start fires, man, the Stealth is really that's the one to do it with. It's just so freaking evil sounding. It's oh my god, I tell you, that amp really impresses me. Got chug, Joe asks. Yes, I do. I have chug for days, my friend. It's a lot of fun. Oh, Jamie Trevino, what's going on here? Thanks, man. He said, great mix. Thank you. I appreciate that. JB50 Watt, I thought you said Verizon and AT&T. Was wondering what that has to do with that. I know, I was like, freaking, I said Verizon instead of Horizon. JB loves Night Terrors. Yeah, I love playing that song, man. Took me a while to get the courage to play it live, but I'm there. Scott Fulmer says, I will use this podcast to prove to my wife these are different. That's right, man. Scott's lovely wife. Let him get a different one, because there are huge differences between them. Just like there's big differences between all the shoes that you love and the purses, and there's differences in amps too. I'm trying to help you out here, Scott. Oh man, don't you love YouTube? Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Oh my gosh, yes, you gotta have the different metal amps, man. You just have to. Okay, so I think I have done all of the mixes with the red guitar that I was going to do. So let me switch to the purple guitar and do a couple more mixes for you on this bad boy. Whoa. Turned up my in-ears by accident. Oh my god, that got loud all of a sudden. Thank god I wasn't playing. I would have blew my eardrums out. Okay. Back up here. Here we go. Alright. A little shot of courage. And might as well do 3 shots in a chaser. I couldn't remember some of it today when I was practicing it, so let's see if I can remember it tonight. Let's do that on the Revv. 1 second here. Yep, I told you I forgot part of it. Yeah, I don't know why, but my stupid noise gate on my HELIX keeps turning off on me. I'm about to drop kick this thing out of here. What the hell, man? Stay on. It's not hard. You're a digital platform. I told you to stay on. Stay on. I don't know why you keep turning back off again. It's like glitchy on me tonight. All right, so yeah, that was a lot of fun, except for my screw up. Yeah, dude, this amp is just really thick. It's just got a really nice thick sound to it. Still aggressive, still beefy, and all that stuff. I really like it. Takes a boost really well. The leads feel great. I feel really confident playing them, and the notes are definitely thicker on the lead channel, which is the red channel on the Revv, than they are on the red channel on the Stealth. There is a thickness there, but you're trading. With the Stealth, you're trading thickness for aggression. I'm not saying the notes are thin on the Stealth; they're just not as thick. But they're more aggressive. So it really depends on what you're looking for. So let's do one more, and then I'll get into playing some riffs between them and all that happy stuff. See if I can remember this one. And then we'll shoot them out just without, any song backing tracks or whatever. 1 second here. There we go. A little bit of Sphinx for you. And the gate is back off again. Okay. You and me are going to have a little chat after the thing here. Yeah, every once in a while it gets glitchy on me. Okay, so yeah, it was fun to play. I know I keep saying the same crap over and over again, but these amps are amazing. So let's go ahead. All right, so I did the blue channel on the Stealth against the purple channel on the Revv. So now let's switch the Revv to the red channel, and I have the gate tone, the bright, cut, and fat switch are all on. Why? Because I paid for them, and I like how they sound that way. And I got it dialed in, which I think is pretty cool settings. So I'm going to put that up against the red channel on the Stealth. Okay, no overdrive. No overdrive. Okay, so let's see how they compare without the overdrive. Here we go. Alright, well, there's a pretty major difference between the two as far as aggression and tightness goes. The red channel on the Stealth is one of the most undeniable, ridiculous channels out there. I mean, for a lot of people, depending on the style of music you play, you won't need a boost for it. It's super aggressive. In fact, you probably saw me looking down while I was playing it because I wanted to make sure the boost was off. That's how nasty that channel is. I always have to check and go, yeah, okay, the boost is off. It's that nasty. It's super tight and aggressive. Now, does that mean that you should, buy that over the Revv? Well, I wouldn't say that you should make a decision based on that because, like I said, I boost every amp anyway, so it's nice that it does that. I mean, it just shows how nasty and tight that channel is and how aggressive it is, but when you boost the Revv with with anything, it'll tighten up and be amazing anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch to the precision drive. So the precision drive is on, and I'm gonna play the Revv with the precision drive on. Then I'm going to switch to the EVH red channel with the precision drive off, so you can hear the difference there. So let's go ahead and give that a try. I'm going to start with the Revv red channel, precision drive on. Okay, so the EVH red is about as tight as another amp is boosted. So that's how ridiculous it is. Now, I have the EVH red dialed in a certain way. So what I would do, I had it dialed in for leads, and with a boost. So I had the settings a little wonky there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the settings, I'm going to turn the gain down to probably between 10 and 11 o'clock. I'm going to take the lows down a little bit too because there's too much bass. And the highs are right at dead nut center. Let's see what that sounds like now. And again, when you have an amp dialed in for a boost, you're dialing it in differently. You're dialing some of the stuff back in that the boost is taking out. So you definitely want to adjust that if you're going to turn the boost off. So let me see how they compare now. Alright, so now see how the Revv sounds compared to that with the boost on. Yeah, the Revv definitely likes the precision drive a little more than the Mud Killer. I could probably turn the tone up on the Mud Killer. I got it at like 2, almost 3 o'clock right now, which is fine, and it might help the Revv out a little bit. But I think the precision drive works really good with big fat amps, and it really sculpts them very well. And the Revv is definitely a big fat amplifier. So I would say that the precision drive the Mud Killer is great with it, but I would probably reach for the precision drive over the Mud Killer for that amp. But for the EVH, because it's so aggressive, I like the Mud Killer better. For it. So it just, again, depends on your taste. But that red channel on the EVH is ridiculous. It's so nasty. So it's really hard for any amp to keep up with the aggression and tightness that the red channel on the EVH Stealth has. It's just nasty as hell. So, all right, so that's basically those two channels against each other there. And so next what I'm going to do is let's compare the cleans real quick, just for giggles. So let's just see how the clean channels line up against each other here. I got a little bit of effects on them, but that's no big deal. 1 second. Okay, I think both clean channels are really good, so just depending on what your taste is, you're going to want to go for that. So, yeah, both of them are very good, as far as that goes. So, again, I think really what it comes down to between these two is if you got the means, buy them both. But if you prefer something that's a little thicker and a blunt kind of aggression, then you'd want to go with the Revv. If you want something that and again, I'm not saying that the EVH Stealth 100 is thin. It's not. It's a big, fat, ridiculous amp. But there's just more aggression and a little more texture and a different type of grainy, gritty texture on the top end. And it just has a completely different kind of attack to it. And if you prefer that, especially something that where that texture really stands out in the mix, then you want to go with the EVH Stealth. So differences between the two, as far as features go, I mean, on the Revv you get 3 channels. You get the blue, green, red, and purple. And I didn't even play the green channel tonight because it's, I mean, I can give you a quick demo of that. But that's more of a classic rock kind of channel, and it's actually really good. So you're going to get more variety out of the Revv for sure because of that. And you're going to have the 2-ounce torpedo stuff in it, which gives you that, you know, you could plug it in direct and, you know, use that instead of bringing a cab to a gig. You got a stereo 2-ounce torpedo outs on it, and you don't even need a load box or anything. It's all built into the amplifier. So you can literally take this amp to a gig, put it on the floor, not use a cab, run it directly into the front of house and your in-ear mix or monitor mix or whatever, and it sounds phenomenal. And you can change the cabs, you can put effects, different EQs, and all kinds of different things. You even have the twin tracker on it, so you can get that bigger sound if you want it. I mean, there's a lot of great features on it, and it's fully MIDI, so that's really nice. I mean, it was easy to play tonight because all I had to do was tap on the Helix and it changed channels for me. You can get around that with the Stealth, but you have to buy a special cable for it for around $50, and then it'll run off of MIDI as well. So yeah, you're gonna pay a lot more for the Revv. You know, the Revv Generator is, bear with me here 1 second. That's $32.99. Okay, so the EVH Stealth 100 is, come on, you can do it. I hit go. So $23.49. So it's about $1,000 difference between them. So what you're going to get for $1,000 on the Revv is you're going to get another channel. You're going to get MIDI. You're going to also get the noise gate, which it has, which works very well. You're also going to get the 2-notes torpedo stuff in there. So it's not like you're getting this, oh, it has better quality components in it. Yes, they have the preamp section flown in from Egypt. Yes, it was best by Tutankhamun himself. Yeah, it's not all that crap. It's not a bunch of cork sniffy crap that you're paying for. You're actually going to get a really good boutique amp built in Canada with quality components, 4 channels, the 2 notes, the noise gate, the MIDI, you know, and really great sound. And you get a lot of stuff too, like you get the bright, cut, fat switches, you get reverb, you get the aggression switch. You have 2 levels of aggression. You can store a bunch of presets in the amplifier and set it up and have it all stored in there. So it's a very, very flexible amplifier with a lot of features in it. And the features aren't stuff that they just threw in as fluff, like, oh, let's just make them think they're getting value. No, I use all those features, and I think they're really good. Very usable features. And on top of it all, it's built well, it's priced right, and it sounds amazing. So again, if you like the sound of that amp, but it's that thing in your mind, like, God, it's $32.99. Trust me, it's worth it. It really is. I mean, for what they're giving you, that's a great deal. It really is. And I bought this. They're not paying me to say that. I don't do that. There's enough shill channels out there. This isn't one of them. I bought all of these, so I just give you the truth, you know. So, I mean, with the Stealth, if you just want a straight up balls out metal amp that's just got tons of aggression, texture, and madness, you know, and having some of those features that the Revv doesn't really matter to you as much, then save your money and get the Stealth. Because if you really like how that sounds and feels and responds to your playing and everything, then that's definitely a great amp for you. It really is. I would highly recommend that to anybody. In fact, the Stealth is one of those, even when I had the 50 watt, I always called it the no-brainer amp. It's kind of like if you play metal, and people ask me all the time, well, I play metal. I mean, I see it in the groups all the time. I play metal. What amp do you think I should go with? And it's just, which one's like the safest bet? The Stealth. I mean, it's one of the safest bet amps out there. I mean, if you don't like that amp, I don't really know what to say to you. It's just incredible. It really is. But if you want something a little more boutique-y and you want something a little more flexibility and stuff like that, I mean, definitely the Revv might be more for you. It just depends. You know, it really does. So I think I covered everything, right? I covered the features, the prices, played a bunch of mixes for you, went back and forth in between them. So yeah, and again about the boost pedal thing, it's not a big deal for me because I boost all my amps anyway, so I don't really care about that. So let me get my glasses on here so I can actually read things. People probably think I'm illiterate, like, gosh, why can't he read? Because I can't see, that's why. And go over some of your comments, questions, and whatnot, and I'll be happy to. Christopher, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Oh, is Ben Burnett in here? Ben Burnett, just saying hi, enjoy the convo, and hope you do the budget shootout. Yes, I will. Thank you, man. I will. I enjoyed the conversation as well. Still can't believe that Line 6 hasn't sued Revv into the mud because Revv totally ripped off the red. You guys know he's kidding. He's being hyperbolic. He's just being a joke. It's a joke. That's hilarious, dude. Michael says, damn, bro, sounds awesome. Thank you very much. And if you missed all the mixes, you can rewind in the live stream. And I played a bunch for you, so I hope you enjoy that. CS says, well, Stealth sounds a bit better. Who'd have thunk it? You know, it really comes down to your preferences. You know, I honestly like them both equally, depending on what my taste is and what type of music I'm playing. I freaking love playing them both. In fact, you know what I do a lot of times when I come down here, because of the 2 notes that's built into the Revv, I play through my studio monitors a lot when I'm writing my solos and stuff. And that amp just is so easy. I just flip it on, turn on the 2 notes, you know, engage the 2 notes in there, and I'm in my studio monitors instantly, and all my tracks go through them as well. So I got the guitar and the backing tracks coming out of one source, and it sounds incredible. I do have the aux box that I can run other amps through as well, but it's just fun to play that Revv through the 2 notes feature inside of it, and it sounds incredible. So, you know, it's a lot of fun. Dirt Racer X, yeah, the Stealth just sounds mean and gnarly. It really does. It's probably the meanest, nastiest amp that I own, and the Hughes and Kettner Triamp is on its way, so we'll see. I've heard great things about it, and I've heard it's really nasty as well, but we'll find out if it's as mean and nasty as the Stealth soon. So, let's see here. Let's see here. D. White says, sounds killer, man. I have a new EVH 100 watt Stealth on the way. Yes! Congratulations, dude. I'm happy for you. He says, I'm curious how a Revv G3 pedal would work through the Stealth clean channel to have kind of a best of both worlds. You know, that's a good question. If you have one of those pedals, put it through there and let me know what you think. I'm interested myself. Let me see here. All right, catching up to you guys. Yeah, JB, you're right. There is a big difference in tone between these amps, big time. They are very different. But the nice thing is they're kind of apples and oranges in a way, but they're like kind of like the best apple and the best orange in my opinion, as far as what I'm looking for tonight, anyways. And I just think they did a great job. JB Glenn Fricker would be mad because according to him, all amps sound the same. Yeah, I don't know if they do or if he thinks that or not, but they sure don't. They sure freaking don't. And the thing is, you don't know until you have a KEMPER amp switcher, and that's why I'm so grateful for my KEMPER amp switcher. You know, it's right behind me here, and that is the most important piece of gear in this room is the amps. excuse me, amp switcher. I was holding back a yawn there. And it really, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff. I'd have to hook each amp up every night, and I used to do that. It was such a nightmare. But with the KEMPER amp switcher, they're all hooked up, and it's just really easy for me to do. You big dummy, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. Haven't seen you in a while. You said, I mostly hear a difference in the low end. You know, YouTube's funny with that. With the compression on YouTube, it hides some of the top end differences. What I can tell you is, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but they both have plenty of low end. Tons, you know. It's the top end in these amps that there's a big difference. Like the high mids and the top end. You got a grainy, really aggressive top end in the Stealth, where you have a more of a blunt instrument with the Revv. I mean, the Stealth is just grainier, more texture, and the Revv just has a completely different kind of top end. It's not soft though; it's blunt and it's a gut punch. It's really nice. So they both stand out in the mix really well. So yeah, it's freaking amazing. Let's see here. D White, Revv just doesn't seem as full sounding. It is. It's really full. It just, yeah, I mean, it just depends on the frequencies that you're looking for. But I don't know, you know, it's that's why I'm doing the Guitar Summit, so that people can come over and hear these things in the room. Because in the room is really what matters, right? Because you can fix anything in a mix with mics. But in the room is 90% of when you play your amp, like when you're at home practicing and stuff, and in the room is what really matters. And I think both of these sound really good in the room. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll take my in-ears out just for a second, and I will play the blue channel on the Stealth and the purple channel on the Revv in the room, and just tell you what I'm experiencing here. I know you got to take my word for it or whatever, but at least you get an idea of what I'm experiencing in the room. Yeah, there's definitely a very, very, very big difference in the room, especially. I'm hearing there's just more top end. There's more aggression on the top end and more texture for sure on the Stealth. It's even more exaggerated in the room than it is on the mics here. Where the Revv is, it's just rounder. It's got a rounder kind of thing going on. And honestly, I tried to get the Revv to match the Stealth as far as the top end goes, but I couldn't do it. I mean, it just doesn't boost those types of frequencies. I can crank the highs all the way up and the presence all the way up on it, and it just doesn't seem to do it. I'm not saying it doesn't match the quality of the Stealth. I'm just saying it doesn't match the type of frequencies or the voicing that the Stealth pushes. In fact, I can show you right now. Why not, right? So let me mute the mic, and I will dial in the Revv as aggressive as I can get it with the precision drive, and see if I can get it to sound closer to the Stealth. Maybe I can. I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but let's see if I can do that real quick before we close out tonight. Alright, yeah, it just got brighter, but there's still like that texture isn't there, the sizzle. It just doesn't have the sizzle. The Revv doesn't. It just gets, it's pushing stuff that's, it's a little, oh, when I switch back to it, I'm a little like, okay, that's a little too much. So with the Revv, with the voicing that it has, I mean, I had the presence almost all the way up. I had the treble at 3 o'clock. And then I adjusted them from there, here and there, just to try to make it a little more palatable to my ears. But it just didn't have that sizzle and that texture. Still, it just got brighter, but it didn't bring like that really nice grainy like texture, like two bricks rubbing together. It just didn't do it. And the sizzle that I was getting out of the Stealth was it's just a different thing. It's just its own thing. And I haven't heard an amp come close to it yet, except for the Driftwood Purple Nightmare. That comes pretty close, actually. So, yeah, that's kind of it. I tried. And again, I'm not saying the Revv can't sound as good as the Stealth. I just think it doesn't sound like it. They're just two totally different amps. And depending on what you like, you're going to pick one over the other. I'm just glad I own both so I don't have to choose, because I think they both sound, I think they sound really good, depending on what I'm looking for. I really do. I'm happy with both of them. I think they're amazing. But it is amazing how different things can sound, isn't it? You know, it's not just like, oh, just turn the presence up or the treble up and it'll sound, no. Voicing's a thing. It either has the voicing or it doesn't, you know. Let's see here. Zale, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. He says, what we need is a upgraded Stealth with MIDI and an onboard gate. You're right, man. I agree with you. And if there's anything that I could say critical about the Stealth, you know, it's been out a while. You know, the 100-watt has. So they should upgrade it and put MIDI and a gate on it. And that amp would be... I mean, there's nothing you can complain about with that amp after that. It would be freaking about... I think it would be the perfect EVH amp anyways. You know, I agree with you. He said, I'd like to hear a Synergy module played through the Stealth or EL34 power section. Yeah, that would be interesting. I do have a Synergy Syn 2 here. It's not hooked up, but I mean, I'll be trying some stuff out soon with that. So we'll see. We will see. Let's see here. CM079 says, hey, Jarrod, can't wait to see your Hughes and Kettner Triumph. Just heard it here. Love my Black Spirit. Great pedal platform. Sounds great on its own. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I can't wait to get it here as well. I think that's going to be fun. I can't wait to check it out. 3 letters, KSR. He says, yeah, KSR has the, what is that? The, gosh, series? Yeah, the series pedal. I heard it's amazing. So Kyle said he was going to send one to me. He said to remind him. I'll reach out to him soon and see if I can't get him to send me one. I think that would be fun to check out as well. I'm going to be doing some budget rig stuff here soon, and maybe I'll have the series on for that. That'll be fun. So, anyways, well, it is 9:28, and I'm getting the yawns, man. I've only had 5 hours of sleep last night, so it's been kind of a crazy day. So, doing some kitchen remodeling and stuff around here, and all that, getting ready for the summit. So, I'm gonna go upstairs and get some food in me and relax a little bit. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I enjoyed putting it together for you. And who wins? Well, that's up to you guys to decide. And I'm not trying to be a fence sitter, but I like both of these amps equally. I think they have a lot of great stuff going for them. And I think depending on your taste and your needs and your style of playing and music and your ears, either one of these amps would fit your taste and be really good for you and be a good purchase for you. I think they're both freaking amazing, and I'm glad I own them both so I don't have to choose. So, well, I hope you got something out of it. I appreciate it. So, again, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll be live again on Sunday night. Carrie will be back after 2 weeks off, and we're going to have some fun with you guys that night, and maybe Carrie will sing. It depends on how she's feeling. We'll see. Until then, I really appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much for being here, and I will definitely catch you guys very soon. And thanks for everyone who voted. So the next shootout will be Fireball versus Stealth, or no, Fireball versus Savage, and then we'll go from there to Savage versus Stealth and see how that works out. So again, thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it. Eric Goodman, what's up, man? He says, haven't heard much of the victory lately. Yep, we'll get back to that. We'll have the victory on soon. All right, guys, thanks again. I will see you all very soon. God bless you all. Every day's a gift, and thank you so much for spending part of yours with me.